fascinates me how fast it's changing.
Yeah.
It's extremely fast.
Yeah.
It used to change on a monthly basis, then it started to change on a weekly basis, and now it's more or less hourly basis.
Wow.
It got the virality it needed organically.
Yeah.
Did not do any media buying for it. Basically, the idea did not die in the approval process. Leave the audiences for the agency, for the marketing agency. Leave the creativity for the marketing agency, and giving them a bigger space to be creative, to generate, to be thrilled to actually work for this project helps a lot. Creators do add life to the page. They add some interpersonal relationship. They add connection. I really love working with creators, especially if the creator maintains its own identity and tries to merge it with the brand or merge it with the agency and what have you. But the more data you get, it's really mesmerizing. You'll get a dashboard of numbers that are really cool to have.
Majd Fakhry.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going? Nice to
All's
meet you
good.
too. You're good? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to Below the Fold. Always excited to get some young and promising talent on the show.
Thank you so much.
Tell us or tell the audience and me, frankly
Sure.
speaking, a bit about your background, your experience in marketing, maybe take a little bit of an intro.
Perfect. So my name is Majd Fakhry.
Yeah.
I'm a digital marketer at heart.
Yeah.
I like to call myself a growth hacker
Okay.
in general, a business growth hacker. And I've graduated from AUB in 2017 as a digital marketer as well.
Yeah.
I was part of the first batch of digital marketers that ever were getting it as a certificate.
Yeah, it wasn't a course, right?
It
in
wasn't
AUB,
a course.
up
I was the
until,
first
oh,
to
wow,
take
okay.
that course from the first batch, which was really,
Yeah.
it was really good to take something so structured at this point, because at that level, digital marketing was still a bit vague. It was
Yeah.
part of marketing. Out of everything.
Yeah. True. So there wasn't a digital. Perhaps back then wasn't a thing of its own, right? A piece of its own.
No, it wasn't.
It was more about branding,
Yes.
marketing, ATL versus
Exactly.
BTL.
And it was considered like just a channel,
Yeah.
not just the burden of digital marketing now is, I think it's the biggest from all other channels, from offline to online.
Okay. Fair enough. So you graduated from AUB with a certificate or emphasis in digital marketing.
100%.
All right.
And I've actually I dabbled in digital marketing before AUB. When I opened my first e-commerce store at 16, it was the days where hashtags will get you sales.
Right.
So that was when I started dabbling in digital marketing. I loved it.
Yeah.
I really dove deep into it.
Yeah.
I took all my courses. I was trying to see what's the space for it, trying to uncover it more.
Yeah.
And then I took it from there. Since then, I've worked in agencies. I've built my own agency as well in Dubai Design District, and it's been growing since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say you've dabbled with e-commerce, when you were 16, which year was that?
That was actually 2014.
2014.
Yeah.
So let me guess, and correct me if I'm wrong. Was it drop shipping, or did you build your own label, or what was it?
So I built my own jewelry company and accessories company.
All right.
So I just getting the raw material from different places of the world, semi-finished goods.
Yeah.
Did them in Lebanon, and then I started selling them through Instagram.
You've branded these products?
100%.
Wow. Okay. And you sold them through Instagram.
Through
so
Instagram.
when you mentioned hashtag, you meant Instagram.
Exactly.
Because for a lot of millennials, hashtag is Twitter.
Exactly.
Right?
No, it's actually on Instagram. It was getting exposure, and there was no media buying on Instagram then.
Yeah.
So Instagram started media buying later after that.
Yeah.
So you had to actually push organically.
Exactly around that time, I think. I believe.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2014, 2015.
Exactly.
That time. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And now you're in the space.
Yeah.
And you're a growth hacker.
I consider myself a growth hacker.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people that worked in e-commerce, and they've built successful brands in e-commerce, have sort of cracked the code in terms of what it means to grow through digital, right?
100%.
To hack their way through the algorithms and the platforms, understanding the systems 100%. And the platforms, right? To secure those purchases and maybe also those incremental purchases. Are you still in this space now?
I'm still in
or?
the space a bit in a different method, in different way, selling digital goods or digital softwares in general.
Okay.
But I'm more entwined into my digital marketing and my social media in specific.
Right,
I really
right.
love this space.
Yeah. What is it that fascinates you more nowadays? And I guess, let's say in the past year or two, when it comes to digital marketing.
Fascinates me how fast it's changing.
Yeah.
It's extremely fast.
Yeah.
Just to change on a monthly basis, then it started to change on a weekly basis, and now it's more or less hourly basis. I do feel though.
Yeah.
Trends are very short-lived.
Yeah.
They used to live longer before.
Yeah.
They used to have a bigger timeline to get on and hop on to the trends and die off from those. But it's very fascinating how fast it grows. It's very fascinating how we're too connected actually into the social media, and it fascinates me how brands are becoming hyper independent on digital marketing more than traditional media in general. It's becoming, because you're reaching everyone on their device in their hand. It's more personal. It's more engaging.
And
it's very fascinating.
And I think also, to your point, this hourly shift, these hourly shifts. I guess one of the example is news around AI adoption and how these big companies are adopting AI or building their own. Like, for example, there was a recent news on Apple, employing Gemini to use as AI for their next AI product or offering. Ooh. As opposed to their own, which they had promised that they would use, right?
Yes.
And this just changes a lot of things. It means that Google is kind of,
having the upper hand.
Getting an upper hand. They're kind of, gaining a few steps ahead. Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
And this means then for us as digital marketeer, we need to start looking into Google's products.
Exactly.
They may become more prominent. They may mean
more
engagement for the consumer.
Yeah.
Are you into the space at all? Or?
I'm actually into the space, but I do have a different thoughts about it.
Yeah.
What I do is I use AI to my benefit. I use it to actually make me. It's like a mean to an end. It's good to use it, but I do believe Google has the upper hand a little bit. If you've used Gemini, you feel it's too advanced a little bit. You'll feel it's too realistic, hyper realistic on some points. And this actually is a big statement showing that Apple is dropping their AI intelligence or Apple intelligence into moving towards a competitor almost. Competitor software, competitor hierarchy and structure.
100%. I don't think they're. I don't know if they're dropping their own AI is the right term.
It might be
tricky.
It's very tricky.
I think they're maybe they're bringing it to complement. Their AI.
Most probably.
And so, based on a couple of discussions with your team ahead of this recording, I've been told that you have some beef to settle with the industry, with marketeers, with clients. What is this about? Can you tell me a little bit more? What's the opportunity? Let's say here.
Okay, so it's not much about beef, but it's much about changing a bit the thought process of how client agencies dynamics should be. So I do feel there's a lot of alteration in the mentality of how the client is working with agencies and vice versa, treating them like vendors more than thought givers or brainstorming partners as well. So this is something that is covered by ego, by fear. It's covered by hierarchy. It's more into to explain it more, it's like ego. That's the word we can concise it to. But there's a type of dynamic I would like to just shift a bit. It would be very nice, because I did see the other end of it, and that's what I'm working on now. Where we're moving from being vendors and suppliers and content creators in specific into brainstormers, into creative thinkers, into strategic movements instead of tactical.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm.
Yeah. Can you give me an example without naming any brand?
Sure.
Just
Can I check my notes?
yes, of course. I'm sure you have plenty.
So
How could you like remember them by heart?
exactly. So examples. One example that just comes to mind would be a client I worked on a while back. They gave us the full creative space, the full creative freedom. They did not give us any constraints.
Yeah.
This is me speaking about not the easiest clients, but the bravest client, if you
Yeah.
will. So they give us the full space to be extremely creative, do whatever we want. They just
Yeah.
told us you have open budget, open everything, whatever you need from the team, you can get.
Yeah.
And indirectly, this turned out to be one of the best campaigns that we were able to work on.
Wow.
It got the virality it needed organically.
Yeah.
Did not do any media buying for it.
Yeah.
And it just shows to show, basically the idea did not die in the approval process.
Yeah.
It did not die with feedback. It kept the agency's thrill to actually deliver it.
Yeah.
It was extremely nice. It was back in the days of the CGIs.
Yeah. What, like 5 years ago or 10 years ago?
No, actually it was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
So
okay.
3 years ago, CGIs were booming a while back.
Yeah.
That was a short trend as well.
Yeah.
But we did a CGI. It was extremely basic, but it did the trick. It was
Right.
more than enough to launch a huge brand.
Why do you think the client was so open-minded and not your typical client who would put his ego first,
so.
or was it a different type of client, or did they
No.
try, for example, different ways before they open it up for you guys, or what do you think was
I
it?
believe they had a lot of. They've seen that doing or over controlling or micromanaging a project didn't get them anywhere.
Yeah.
And they've worked with. We were part of, by the way, for this project, we were the 5th agency.
Yeah.
We were working all at the same time. It's not like they were hiring and stopping with any agency.
Yeah.
So I think we had the space of, they cornered us into just, they've tried 4 agencies and they told us just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
They were very brave. They trusted us, which I think is a big thing. If you trust your agency and the team members inside of it and the structure of it and how it's made and how they think,
Yeah.
and you let them
I
loose.
think that's a really good point. So the trust perhaps led to this blank space that they gave you.
100%. Yeah.
How did you establish this trust?
So we established it by, first we did a lot of introductory meetings with the team.
Yeah.
So we introduced ourselves one by one with their expertise, with their backgrounds, with a portfolio of our work, of what we did.
Yeah.
That was the first step. We established a personal relationship as well. We were going out for lunch, for dinner, just to make sure our personal side also is on the table, not just our business professional face on there.
Yeah.
And also showing our previous work, which was very crucial for them to see the quality of the deliverables.
Yeah.
And we've built that trust. It was very easy actually to do it.
Okay.
It just took a week or two of meeting, of brainstorming together, and they had the full trust.
Right.
They got us the full trust actually, and it was very brave of them.
So you delivered to them a campaign from A to Z, from between that included the creative, concept, production, direction, all of that, and the channel planning, the media distribution,
Exactly,
all of that stuff.
100% omnichannel marketing approaches and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it for you that you thought made this campaign a success? Was it media metrics, or was it the client being happy?
Definitely media metrics.
Okay.
So we're more into a data-driven decision system, where the data concludes if it was a good campaign or not.
Yeah.
Client happiness is a metric, but it's not the main KPI.
Okay.
So we are more into checking the data, objectively taking decisions, not subjectively.
Yeah.
Not having much effect from the client's feedback, trying to separate the ego from the numbers, because sometimes they do seep in and affect the results. And accordingly, from the data, we just knew it was a viral campaign.
Yeah.
The numbers were crazy. And also, we're not much into likes and impressions, if so-called typical KPIs. We're more into KPIs that are a little bit more critical.
Yeah.
For example, I love saves and shares.
Yeah.
I don't like likes and impressions and comments because those you can buy. These can be infiltrated by your family members supporting you or what have you.
Yeah.
But when it comes to saves, shares, and actual KPIs that are a bit too sensitive, if I share it, it means I really like it. If I save it, it means I want to watch it again later.
100%.
So you have these KPIs that are a bit more interpersonal. I think interpersonal these days.
Yeah.
Not into followers, not into profile visits, not into these typical KPIs. They are something we do check. They are for us secondary.
Yeah.
Our main KPIs are a bit different.
Yeah. And on the creative front, for this campaign, had you presented like different options to the client?
Of course.
Or was it one option, take it or leave it?
So we did present many options. We do a voting system with the client. I think presenting the client with many options opens up a bit the creative space. And also it gives them when you give the client different options, they have to choose one of the options. If you give them one option, they'll become hypocritical of that option and they will alter it a lot.
Yeah.
When you give them many options, they'll just go with the best one intuitively. They know the brand also, so you have to take their point of view into consideration. And also we do a voting system internally. I do, every person in our team also checks with their family members, checks with their friends, like, what do you think about this? Checks with their partner. So it's a good system, taking some human elements from it and let them decide which option is the best.
Okay. And so the client got involved to a certain extent. It's not like there was zero involvement. He had a say in some of the directions, right?
It's a bit of say, yeah.
Do you think is there a world where sometimes the client is advice is not needed at all? Like, you do your homework in terms of like what is a good direction for creative and for media and channel planning, and you don't need the client's approval. You based on the data that you have in your experience, 100%. This is a good direction. Like, for example, you may build 3 options, but you think that option 1 is the right option, and it will deliver. and so you don't need the client's approval. Would that work?
That would not work. That would work to a certain extent, but the client's point of view is needed. But it depends on the client as well. If the client has made an ecosystem internally in their or company, where good decisions come up on their own by hiring the right team, by having the right culture internally, and pushing the right key points or KPIs to arise on its own, then that would be a healthy relationship with the agency. That's when we take the client's point of view into consideration. There's many people that we take approvals from. Client's approval is not the main one. It's partial, let's say, acceptance of the idea for us. We do try to push from our end, and you do need this flame from the agency to try to push for the ideas they think it's best.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes you will be the underdog. Sometimes you'll have the upper hand. But some people a bit just mesmerize the client's approval. They give it a bit more heaviness than it should be. They just let everything stall until the client approves, which I really don't like, by the way. The client's approval is needed, but should not put everything on hold. We should not be waiting as an agency. We should be just creating and creatively thinking all the time. And many times the client is a bottleneck. They're not the actual drivers. They're a bottleneck, more or less. They hold some projects they go to a full plateau when it comes to this. And riding a trend cannot have a bottleneck. Riding a trend should have all people in parallel syncing. If that client is a bottleneck, sometimes we'll have to drop that approval and just ride the trend. We'll have to override it. But some more times than often, basically after building that trust with the client, sometimes the client tells you, don't take my approval. Just go ahead with it. So it's in spectrum. You have to work through. You have to work through it.
I feel like also in terms of expertise, it could variate. maybe potentially from project to project, but maybe perhaps more often than not, the client brings a better understanding of the brand and the brand identity, and the agency or the vendor or the partner brings a better understanding of the consumer, let's say the landscape or the of the channel, maybe also, and maybe vice versa sometimes.
Maybe vice versa
right?
sometimes, yeah.
Maybe the client brings sometimes better historical data, right, and experience about what the brand, what they've tested for the brand, what worked, what didn't.
Exactly.
Maybe they know better about the consumer, and then the agency brings better expertise in terms of the actual creative. Let's say what is engaging, what is feasible.
What's the audience doing?
Yeah, what is a good hook?
Insight. Exactly.
For example, what is the best user journey, right?
100%.
What can get people to convert, etc.
The funnel and everything.
The funnel, etc.
Yes.
The tracking, the
Exactly.
You understand the intricacies of funnel.
Exactly.
And the tracking and the way these platforms function, right, to get you the action that you need.
Actually, yeah.
And that requires a lot of time spent on the platform.
Time.
But sometimes it mixes. This balance is mixed between the client and the agency, right?
Yes. It's very true.
So you're right. I guess it's a combination. You need that combination between the client. Through
There's
time,
a dynamic that goes around. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about this dynamic. Like, what is it? Why do you think the client is less? What is the forte of the client, let's say, and what is the forte of the agency in your view?
In my view, if the client did their job with business planning, their research prior ahead, we do take these as key points.
Yeah.
So the client does feed information to the agency, and as you said, what worked and what didn't work.
Yeah.
But this should be done on a data stream system, on an objective system.
Okay.
But they should not bring with that their subjective opinions and what they think the audience is and they think the audience behavior is. Leave the audiences for the agency, for the marketing agency. Leave the creativity for the marketing agency, and giving them a bigger space to be creative, to generate, to be thrilled to actually work for this project helps a lot. Yeah. And then the agency also should take into consideration a lot of the client's historical data. It's very important to know what worked, what didn't work. The client did their research, they did their burden, and more times than not, it's their baby.
Yeah.
It's a bit tricky, and it's a business, and it's feeding families. So it should be a dynamic where the client does feed objective, no ego type of content into or no fear-based content into the agency, and let the agency do its job. The agency also should work with the client, and it's like a dance, by the way. It's a dynamic, and try to create this ecosystem where the benefit of the business is the endpoint. The KPIs are the endpoint. The data is the endpoint. And the generation of the content, beautiful content, engaging type of content, creative content is the endpoint. So there's a dynamic that goes around. But it's very weird because really I've never had two clients that had the same dynamic.
Yeah.
Every client's very different.
Yeah.
Which comes to a human base at the end.
Yeah. Where do you see the role of creators? Like, because today they have an established role, right? We talk about the creator economy, and
exactly.
And you have a lot of you have many brands and clients that don't necessarily hire agencies anymore.
Yeah,
they hire creators. Because the creators, they will create the content, they understand what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
They are production, they are, art directors, they're creative directors.
They do it all.
And they deliver on the platform itself.
Exactly.
It's not like they deliver a piece of content that then you have to adapt, right?
Exactly.
So how does that play into that dynamic?
I really like creators.
Yeah.
UGC in specific, user-generated content, or in general, any content creator. And having a person dedicated in the team from the agency side or the client side as a creator is a really good bonus.
Yeah.
Creators do add life to the page. They add some interpersonal relationship. They add connection. I really love working with creators, especially if the creator maintains its own identity and tries to merge it with the brand or merge it with the agency and what have you. So creators are a really good added value. Media buying on UGC is very different. Media buying UGC content, it has a kick to it. It has higher results, higher KPIs in general.
Oh.
And we do notice this a lot.
What do you mean by media buying, UGC?
UGC, so user-generated content, or it could be content creators creating content about the brand in specific. The media buying or boosting this type of content gets you a higher level of engagement.
Okay, so boosting the creator's content.
Content, exactly.
Okay. Versus just letting it
organically go.
Yeah, go organically, live organically.
More or less, in this day and age, you'll need that kick from the boosting level.
Right.
Just to create that snowball effect.
And also versus promoting the regular paid ad, right?
Yeah, own media, yani.
The content, the highly edited content, not
highly
professional, or it could be lo-fi. I don't know, but you see the difference, right?
Yeah,
you can either promote the creator's content, or you can promote the video that you produced, right?
Exactly.
For your brand.
So we do call this internally owned media, which is produced by the agency or the client, and user-generated content.
Mm-hmm.
And these all fall in, there's other categories under it, like EGC, which is new employee-generated content, and these types of content in general.
Yeah.
So we do see the difference in UGC getting us more engagement in general.
Yeah.
Collaborative posts getting us more engagement, having it available on 2 feeds or 3 feeds or more as well.
What do you mean 2-3 feeds?
So when
on the client's feed and on the creator's feed. Yeah.
So you're just merging audiences, merging people, and also in the back end you do get access to the audience of that content creator.
Correct.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
You just add them to your custom audiences, create lookalikes from them, maybe tap into markets you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Especially in a changing market. So yeah.
UGC and would you say it applies across any industry, any vertical, or are there brands that any brands should stay away from creators?
Actually, a good question. I've never, so far in my experience, I've never had a backlash from a content creator in any industry.
Would you add content creators to any proposal?
So far, yes. The pros is higher than the cons.
Any objective?
Not any objective, no.
Which objective then you would rule out or you would leave out from creators? Maybe all objectives. Maybe actually you would include all objectives.
I would actually include all objectives, but it actually differs from client to client or from page to page or business to business. Some are more critical than others. Medical fields, I would be a little bit more critical, and education.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, medical field. Yeah, this sound.
It's a bit tricky. Yeah.
A bit serious.
Serious.
Yeah. I don't know why we have this, but again, I guess thinking about it now, we have this perception that when it comes to creators, it's entertainment, it's comedy, it's not suited. And these are the I guess the trending topics, right? Or the trending types of content on the platforms.
These are the consumable content. That's what everyone want to see.
Yes, digestible, entertaining, relatable, scrollable. But you have also content creators nowadays that are also on the more serious side, right? So you have a lot of, I mean, I'm not sure how many there are here in our region, but I'm sure there are a lot of certified, accomplished, trusted medical staff, professionals, doctors, nurses.
There's many
that create content.
That's true,
right? That perhaps they could be a good fit.
Yeah. Now that you say it, I do recall many
Looks
on my
like
feed.
you have a medical client
I
brief
did,
that you're
actually,
working on.
but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
critical a little bit,
Yeah.
especially with the media buying side, where there's many rules in regards to that. Medical field is a bit tricky
Yeah.
to
To promote, I think there are
promote, yeah.
regulations when it comes to promoting
Mhm.
a lot of products related to medical field. I think, like, for example, behind the counter medicine or
Exactly.
things like that, right? Is that the word, behind the counter? And over the counter.
Over the counter, that's the one. Yeah.
Behind the counter. Yeah. Financial advice, I think, is tricky also, right?
Also, yeah.
Financial
Credit
advice.
and debit advice.
But even financial advice, you have a lot of
There's a lot
noise.
here. Yeah.
There's a lot of
There's
noise,
a lot in
right?
here, yeah.
There's a lot of noise. You would
This is critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I think content creation has taken over. Everyone wants to create content.
Exactly.
I think, look at us here now today, right?
Good,
we
yeah.
both work in marketing, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
We have full-time jobs, but yet here we are. We're creating content. We're talking about our field, our profession,
Our expertise.
So I guess the overall idea is that there's no limit, right? To
Not much for content creators. I think the sky's the limit.
Yeah. What you decide to use for your campaign, that's a separate subject.
Yeah. That's a strategy-based subject. That's more entwined with the full dynamic I spoke before about. So, but it is critical. But I've never seen cons much from content creators, mainly because I do work mainly in the hospitality area, which content creators boom there.
Yeah. Tell me a bit more about the hospitality area.
I love the space.
Yeah.
Hospitality area has a wider creativity space than others, I believe.
Yeah.
And the hospitality field, there's a misconception that everyone that has a mouth is your audience for the hospitality field, which I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
Every concept has its own experience, environment, service, feel, where you have to cater to on those audiences.
Yeah.
And this area, actually, it's the one that tested me the most, and my experience was tested and it grew in those areas because the hospitality field is very intricate.
Yeah.
And every restaurant has its own operations, has its own details, and it's extremely intricate.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it further, but there's a lot of webs you have to get into, the Google reviews, review by review. You have to check every KPI on a weekly basis. You have to take into consideration the team, the staff, the operations, if they can deliver anything you'd like to do for the hospitality activations. There's a bottleneck, which is the restaurant itself, for example. There's some bottlenecks when it comes to delivery platforms. It's a lot into a small business.
Yeah, and it's fragmented, right? The user journey fragmented. How do you track return on investment?
It's very hard, but we do track it offline. We try our best through forms, through surveys, through gathering as much data as possible internally. Through the QR codes, we try to, as much as possible, make things trackable, using some UTMs, using some parameters that can help us just figure out how our campaigns are affecting footfall, affecting offline.
How would you track footfall? I would say is it? I think that's the trickiest.
It's the trickiest one, but for now what we're doing is through forms and surveys, by having the staff ask the visitors how did they know about us, how did they uncover us. Some things that can help is on Google, the directions and call trackers. These help us a lot as well. But gathering data from the people visiting themselves is the most crucial one. We try to reach the POS system and having the staff asking per person how did they learn about us, so we can directly link the platform to the revenue. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't due to operation issues, but that's the best case scenario that would be doing this. Delivery platforms are a bit trickier. Sharing data with them or APIs is not always a cup of tea. And mainly these are the the trackers.
Yeah,
We try to implement as much as possible per concept, but not everyone has advanced POS systems or softwares that can adapt to this.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a mix,
client by
right,
client,
of
yeah.
whatever you can
Gather.
bring together, get your hands on,
100%.
just at least as an indication.
Yeah,
It's like
for a trend purpose, to see if it's an upward slope or a downward slope or a stagnant slope.
yeah, it's like airlines also. They have the same
Yeah.
challenge, or tourism boards also have the same challenge.
Yeah.
But they may not be able to track the full journey, but they track, for example, searches. They track, inquiries.
Trends.
Consumption, content consumption about the destination.
Yes.
Things like that. So
Yeah.
I guess it's about the same approach. You try to gather here and there what you know, what you
Yeah.
can get your hands on.
You dabble a lot.
100%.
Yeah.
And so for you, the best source of data is customer survey. So the actual staff approaches the clients and asks them verbally.
100%.
Okay.
100%. So it would be in either a subtle way or a bit more aggressive way, depending on the concept.
Yeah.
But trying to gather how people knew about us in word of mouth, per platform, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it could be, the platform. And we also use third party, like some people learned this concept through a delivery platform.
Yeah.
Or it could be through TripAdvisor, could be through any type of Foursquare even. So
Foursquare. Yeah.
So we try to make that survey, and we'll try. Usually, our approach would be the staff asking the guest.
Yeah.
Guests filling the forms on their own will not happen very easily unless there's an incentive behind it. So we do change the approaches depending on the customer. If it's a fine dining approach, a fine dining restaurant, it would be asking the client, when you're giving the bill, how did they learn about you? If it was more on a quick service type of approach, we'll give an incentive. So fill the survey and get a 5% discount, or it could be a like loyalty point system. So it changes.
Okay.
But the more data you get, it's really mesmerizing. You'll get a dashboard of numbers that are really cool to have.
Yeah.
And you'll just know where to put your media buying budget later. So if that platform's doing well.
I was just going to ask you actually about the frequency of how frequent you want the data. You mentioned dashboard.
Yeah.
So you need it in real time.
I need it in real time.
But like how, like, so the data that you're going to get from the staff, obviously you're not going to get it from real time, right? The staff that's going to ask the customers verbally, you know, where'd you see us? You're not going to get this in real time. Do you get it on a daily basis or on a weekly basis? Or
I try as much as possible to get it on a daily basis.
Okay.
And trying to also get in parallel the DSR, daily sales report of that branch.
Yeah.
And trying to fill any gaps that might take place. Having it on a daily basis does help more the team, because we're a pretty active team, to take quicker decisions.
Yeah.
This will help you to tweak, I call it DJ around the ads and DJ around the platforms, just so you know which one is working, to directly funnel. If you're gonna wait on a week, 2 weeks basis, monthly, some agencies wait on a monthly basis, which is not healthy. There's your dollar's not being spent wisely, and your attention is not being spent wisely. You have to cater to a certain platform more than the other, maybe during a campaign or during an activation or during postings, organic postings. So there's direct correlation between how a client learned about us and the media buying activity that you have to do, or the marketing activity that you have to do in general.
How long do you need to be running a campaign for you to get to a point where you understand what's working, what's ad, what channel?
So it does depend on the campaign, it does depend on the client, and depend on the learning phase. But sometimes my intuition goes for a week, and sometimes I'll wait for a full 2 to 3 weeks to actually take that into consideration. But if it's a new startup, we'll wait a bit more, because we don't have historical data. If it's a client that we had historical data with, we'll take more abrupt decisions for that.
Okay, and then is your recommendation, would you then keep the campaigns rolling so that you can continue to optimize, or do you stop the campaign and then start a new one based on the findings?
Usually stopping a campaign would be our last resort,
Yeah.
because we've done our studies before and we've programmed it in a way that it should work. So we do optimize. Most of the time we do optimize until either it's not working anymore, we have to stop it at this level, or we just stop it early on if we know that that might not get us, or we got a backlash or something out of it early on.
Okay.
So it depends, but I would love to wait for the campaign to get its full exposure, get out of the learning phase, and then see how it goes.
Okay, I have a question for you for
Yeah.
hospitality.
Sure.
Okay, what do you think, in your experience, drives better footfall, or drove more footfall? Maybe from your experience from
Yeah.
past campaign, was it a really cool creative, or was it a performance approach, like an optimization? Like you employed a bidding strategy on some of the
I
platforms,
guess. Yeah.
and you allocated budget on that, and that worked, or you used certain targeting, for example,
Okay.
and you decided to, instead of doing, for example, instead of buying views,
You're
you
buying
drove
land-
people to the traffic, to the landing page, to a website.
Exactly.
What worked better in the past for you? Was it a performance approach, a tactic,
Yeah.
or was it a really cool creative? Or like
It's actually both, by
What
the
drove
way.
a spike maybe in footfall? Yeah.
A spike would be in both.
Okay.
But by the way, sometimes a really cool creative maybe it's not a very professional creative. It could be just a shot on iPhone creative. And when it comes to bidding, performance does get us a lot of spikes more than cool content.
Yeah.
And performance-based type of approach on the backends, changing from video views to landing page views, boosting for leads instead, or the objective, changing the objective sometimes, tweaking the creatives, or providing the backend with 100 creatives ads on this level and let the best one optimize and grow. That was the best approach for us. So what we like to do on the performance side, feed the campaign as much as possible content and options to run, having different ad sets, different ads under one campaign, or different campaigns and different approaches for each one. This one, we will always we will hit a spike, and that spike will just turn off everything else and optimize that spike.
Okay.
That would be on the performance side. But sometimes organically, just creating a cool content could be as basic as shot on iPhone or high production can do the same spike, by the way.
Or a creator, maybe.
Or a creator, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
A really good one.
So now with creators in the
You
in
just
the
add
mix,
them in the mix.
what works better, creator or performance? Would you say performance even better than
No,
creator? Creator, yeah.
Yeah, actually creator.
Yeah, when you employ a creator, you see
The
a
good
spike.
Yeah, but actually you have to really pick the good one, the good creator.
So I guess the
authentic
ultimate mix is bringing creator content with the right performance
That's what I told
approach.
you. Yeah, when we
Okay.
boost their content, that would be the best mix for you.
The best formula.
Yep.
طب that's cool, that's great. نحن we've reached يعني هيك the almost the end.
Perfect.
Is there anything you wanted to share? I know you prepared some notes. Is there anything you wanted to
I'll check one second. Oh yeah, that's true. So I did have a few notes.
Yeah.
Just in general, I wanted to make sure that having a client agency dynamic should be a pro-growth approach.
Yeah.
Pro-growth
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
There should be some room for disagreement also.
Yeah.
Not all agencies and clients should be on the same page. If they
Yeah.
disagree, it's actually a healthy key point.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
healthy
Yeah.
structure. And trusting data is really important. Trusting the agency is really important. And measuring everything is really important. That's just summarizing what we just discussed, basically, me and you.
Okay, fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Majd.
Thank
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Great.